Here we go.
Well, guys, it looks like we are officially entering E3 season as Nintendo has just released their plans for E3 2019. And as we go over their plans, we're also going to go over my predictions for what they're going to show. And I know lots of them, some of them are going to be crazy, some are going to be really accurate. And I just hope you guys, can see and respect where I'm coming from. I'm just excited as a Nintendo fan for some of them, and some of them I think they're actually going to happen. And I'll talk to you guys about which ones are which and stuff like that. And you guys can give me your opinions in the comments below. Before we get started, if you're new to the channel, please feel free to subscribe or view the content. We post Nintendo everything here, and just check that out. If you're returning, be sure to hit that bell so you can stay up to date, because I am sure to cover all of this stuff that I'm going to be talking about for Nintendo's E3 presentation this year. Without further ado, let's get started. So first off, we know that Nintendo is having a Splatoon 2 World Championship, and the live stream begins at 11 a.m. Pacific Time on June 8th. They are also having a Super Smash Bros. Ultimate World Championship 2019. It's a 3v3, which is kind of weird. That's weird. It will begin at the conclusion of the Splatoon 2 World Championship at 2 p.m. Pacific Time on June 8th. And then the juicy stuff that we've been waiting for, the Nintendo Direct. You get a look at Nintendo Switch titles for 2019. Tune in at 9 a.m. Pacific Time on June 11th. So it says nothing about 2020 titles at all, but as you know from Nintendo, that does not stop them. So we are going to talk about at least 2 titles I think they can announce for 2020 as just a kind of, like they always do, show you a title, get prepared, without any gameplay. But then, obviously, we have the Nintendo Treehouse Live event, which is the 3 days following, which is actually, the day of the E3 presentation, and then the 2 following days, which would be gameplay with the developers and Nintendo Treehouse members beginning June 11th. And at the very bottom, this is for any of you guys going to the show, it says watch everything live. Well, if you're not at the show, watch everything live at e3.nintendo.com. And if you're going to the show, it says be sure to register for your Warp Pipe Pass early. I guess this lets you get in certain lines faster. But that's, you guys can go find that information on Nintendo's website if you need to go to if you're going to the convention center. But enough of that. We already know it's coming. June 11th, getting excited, 9 a.m. Pacific time. What do we need to talk about? So I pretty much divided this list based on different things here. And I based it on things that we know is coming, things that we have rumored, things that I think would come, and then things that are coming in 2020. So let's get started. The first game, for some reason, I wanted to talk about was Zelda. Link's Awakening is told to come out 2019. I think it's going to come out late 2019. But I don't think that's it. I think there's more to it, because I'm going to combine this with one of the rumors saying that Link to the Past was also getting remade and coming out this year. They haven't even talked about Link to the Past, anything about it. But I'm thinking that this might actually be a tie-in game. I think Link's Awakening and Links to the Past are going to both get remade and dropped on the Switch in that same cartridge. I think Nintendo was just holding out and didn't show that second part. That is a far-stretched one off the rip, I know, but who knows? Lots of people said $60 for a game that came out over, 15 years ago is kind of ridiculous, because it is genuinely the same game. They even, picture perfect show the scenes from the old games, exact same scenes, looks like to be the exact same game, just updated graphics. They would need to kind of add maybe another game in there to qualify for that $60 price tag, in my opinion, and other people's opinions as well, but that's my kind of prediction there. Link's Awakening and Link to the Past in a combination game would be really dope. Moving on to Luigi's Mansion 3, this is definitely going to be talked about. This is already coming out this year in 2019. They're going to show more of the story. They're going to talk about the whole premise. They're going to talk about it being a hotel, I'm sure. And it's going to have different segments that I think is going to be very similar to Dark Moon. And fans are going to be mad because it's not like the original, but it is going to have more of that Dark Moon focus. You can kind of see by the art style. You can see the way they're doing it. It's just going to be kind of like the next step up. I think they're going to have multi-character use, as we saw Mario, Peach, and Toad were actually in the game in some form. I don't know if you just have to save them, but I think there's going to be something tying in with them. They're going to show off, and I think there's going to be some type of multiplayer, whether it be local or online. I think there's going to be like that. They already tested it out on the DS with the online multiplayer, and I think they're going to do it again, like they did with the Tower of Terror. So I could see that happening. It sounds pretty interesting. That's pretty much all I have for Luigi's Mansion. Quick little trailer, quick little talk about, there's nothing much. It's going to come towards Halloween time in the fall. Moving on, we have Super Mario Maker 2. Mario Maker 2, they're not going to talk about, like I said, a whole lot. There's not much to talk about Mario Maker, but just show what you can do and then release it. It's coming out at the end of June, so right, really close to the direct time. I think all they're going to show is new items and new enemies. Maybe some mini games you can make. Maybe you're not just making regular levels. You could choose to make mini games where maybe in this game you have to collect coins. You have to, stop Goombas and stuff. I think they've already kind of touched on that a little bit. But that would be really cool just to have mission-based stuff that you can make. There'll be like game modes, like I said, you can make. They'll show some costumes like they did for Mario Maker 1 with the different character costumes you could put on through the mystery mushroom. There will be multiplayer, as we saw Luigi in the trailer a lot of the time and in the title art. There's going to be new online features, I think. They're going to show all those off. I don't think there's going to be a new play style. I was really thinking about this. I didn't know how to go with it. I don't think there's going to be a new play style. I think Super Mario 3D World is the last one. Unfortunately, it hurts to say that, but I think that they really already have this game made, and that's all they had to show us, and they're just going to show us some little add-on stuff to get ready for and be excited for. So I think that's it with that, and as we move on, we're going to go into Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing is definitely going to get shown here, but the fact I thought this was going to be the game that had the most in-depth, they did not mention any game having more in-depth than the other. There was no Mario Maker having, or Mario Odyssey having the big show, or Super Smash Bros. Having the big show, or The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild taking the show like they normally do. This just says 2019 game. So I think Animal Crossing is going to be touched on briefly, show a quick little trailer, show some things that you can do in the game, but then it'll have more information soon. I don't even know if this will have a release date yet. I think there's going to be a whole full Nintendo Direct on this, towards like July, August. I'm expecting kind of like an August Direct showing off Animal Crossing, and it'll release in like the next couple of months after that. And like I said, they're not going to have a specific showing for this. It's going to be like a minute, maybe 2 minutes of gameplay. Nothing much with that. Next up, we have Bayonetta. We don't know if this is going to show up or not. This has been talked about a little bit by people. It's random because it's kind of in the same boat as Metroid Prime. It feels like it was announced at the same time as Metroid Prime 4, but it never had any gameplay after it. They haven't said it was in a delay or anything, so I don't know much about Bayonetta, but I'm saying maybe if it is shown, this is a big if, it'll be about a minute to 2 minutes of trailer. That's about it. There will be nothing else, since it's not really like they just got brought out by Nintendo from Platinum Games or whatever. So I don't think it's going to be, like I said, a huge focus. I think Nintendo just wants to, boom, get it out for the Bayonetta audience, and then move on to the next game. And the same thing goes with Astral Chain. That was also announced a couple directs ago, or a direct ago. I'm not really sure about anything about this game, but I'm actually going to go out on the limb and say this isn't going to get shown at all. I think they're done with this one for a while. I think it's going to be similar to what they did with that one mech game they announced at E3 last year, the Daemon Ex Machina, where they talked about it. It's not going to be shown off for a while. It'll be shown off in its own time, whenever it needs to be, whether it be a direct or what have you. So that's how I feel on those two games. If you guys have any opinion on that and you think it should be announced at a certain time, let me know. But that's all I can kind of give you when it comes to that. Moving on next, we have Metroid Prime Trilogy is going to happen. I'm thinking that I'm 100% sure on this. The rumors seem to be really pressing on still, like it's like happening, it's happening. Stores have been leaking this game. It just hasn't been announced yet, and I think it's time. Since Metroid Prime 4 is obviously very early in the development stage, and there's problems with it and stuff like that, and they had to restart. Throw out Metroid Prime Trilogy, get the fans back into the Metroid Prime, feeling and a saga, and kind of like go over the games and play them all over again, get it fresh in your minds, and get ready for Metroid Prime 3 when it drops in 2073. But, this is kind of, I think this is happening. If there's any other remake and any other, reimagining type of game coming, it's going to be a Metroid Prime Trilogy. I hope just it's in that HD, cleaned up version instead of just, port it to the Switch. So that's what I'm hoping with that one. A Mario spin-off game of some sorts. I don't know what I'm going to go with this. I'm saying Mario Sport for sure, but I don't know what sport. I'm thinking soccer or baseball. I know lots of people really wanted that Strikers game to come back. I don't know if they're going to do that or some other type of soccer game. I think baseball has a good chance. I kind of hope it's baseball. But if I had to have a personal pick, it'd be something that they haven't done a lot of, and something that, or maybe they haven't done at all. Like a Mario football. Get Mario basketball back on there. They only had like 3-on-3, and then that one in the sports mix. They could have Mario Golf again if they're going down the tennis route. Like I said, they had tons of tennis games, and they went with tennis last time, so they could go with golf again. It's really where their fan base is, and I think it's at soccer right now. Unfortunately for me, because I really want baseball, I want football, I want basketball, but I think it's going to go towards the soccer scene, which is fine too, because Mario Soccer is really fun. If you've ever played Strikers and Strikers Charged, those are some really intense games, so I don't know if they're going to go back to that type of style, but I think that's going to be shown off and released sometime this year. I think Super Smash Bros. Ultimate gets touched briefly, and so briefly I think it's just a character. I don't think they want to talk about this game any more than they already have. I don't think it's time for another big update with more game modes and stuff like that, but I think it's just, boom, they're about to drop a character. That's it. And I think it's going to be at the end of the show, potentially, unless they have a big 2020 game they want to talk about. But I think it's going to be at the end of the show. I think it's going to be one of the biggest characters for Smash Brothers history. Yes, I'm talking the Microsoft rep. I think we're finally going to get that either Minecraft Steve, that Halo Master Chief, or even Banjo-Kazooie. I'm really excited to see which direction they go with this, but either way, I think the character drops, completely directly after the Nintendo E3 presentation. I think, boom, you'll be able to download them, play with them, and everything, and that's going to go crazy. People are going to be super excited about that, and that gives them something to do until all of these games that were announced at this E3 showing come out. So that's something I think is going to happen. Briefly touching Smash Bros, nothing much besides that one character, and I think Nintendo would be good with that. I had to throw in this last weird one because this character's kind of gets a game once a year, maybe once every other year. Kirby. I think Kirby might have a spin-off game, kind of like Rainbow Curse or Canvas Curse, something like that, or some type of ping pong game. Something weird with Kirby. I think Kirby is going to get something, some smaller type of game. I don't know what it is going to be. I think that could be announced. That could be 2020 as well. I don't know, but I don't think it's going to be a main Kirby game yet. I think it's still going to be kind of like, here's this small Kirby game to have fun with Kirby just because we need Kirby out there. Kirby. And then I have two 2020 games that I feel like I really want to talk about here. These could happen, maybe not. First one's more realistic. Pikmin 4. They could easily show off, I don't know if they're going to do their little, let's show off a title where all the flowers look up and it says Pikmin 4 and then that's it. We better get more than that. They could show off a small 30-second minute trailer and just say 2020. I think everybody would be really satisfied with that just to know that Pikmin is coming. I think Pikmin has to come by 2020. Goodness gracious, we've been waiting our whole lives for this game. But the other game, it's going to sound crazy to even think about right now, but maybe the next Mario game, the big Mario 3D game. I think it could be Odyssey 2, because if you look back, Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 released just in about 3-year time span, and we're already there. So I think it's time to kind of look at what this next big Mario game is going to be. We already know the next big Zelda game is in the work now. They're already getting hiring for new people. So I think Mario, it's time. It's time for the next Mario game. And obviously they haven't been doing Odyssey DLC, and there's got to be a reason, because people have been clamoring saying they'd pay for it and stuff, and even Nintendo themselves has said if we find a good opportunity for Mario Odyssey DLC, we'll do it, but clearly they haven't really found what that was going to be. So I think they just took all their assets and everything they wanted to do, including Aldolfino, and put it into the next Super Mario Odyssey game. This, if we get at all, would not even be a trailer. I think it would literally just be the words Mario Odyssey 2 across the screen, and it'll say 2020, and then they'll move on. It'll be like literally a 10-second segment like they did with Metroid Prime 4, which I'd be fine with this one. Show us some more stuff whenever you get the chance. But I think that could be something they could do, maybe even at the end or something like that. Pikmin 4 could be at the end. But I think Pikmin 4 or even this Mario Odyssey 2, if it happens, it'll be in the middle like they did, show a quick, boom, here's a title card, moving on. And then they're going to end off with that Smash character. But that's all for my list, guys. If you have any type of, predictions or thoughts of yourselves, something that I missed. I know someone's going to say Pokemon. That never happens during Nintendo Directs. We've already got that fleshed out. That's not going to happen. But if there's anything else I missed, go ahead and put it down in the comments below. If there's anything that you want to see that I named, go ahead and just talk about it down there and let me know how you feel about it, if it could happen, if it's not going to happen. And just let me know, guys, what you feel. Are you excited for this Nintendo E3 presentation? Are you more excited this year than last year? I hope it's a lot better than last year. I did not enjoy last year's, but we're gonna have to wait and see. And we don't have much long to wait. It's coming right around the corner, just over a month, and I'm super excited. Thank you guys for tuning in today and watching this discussion. And please remember to leave your comments and your predictions down below. But thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you in the next one. See you guys.